Have you ever cracked open an old story, certain you knew how it would end, only to be completely overwhelmed by its raw power? Stay tuned, because today we're exploring Nikolai Gogol's remarkable novella, Taras Bulba. But here's the real question. Do you know how it will end? Gogol's tale is more than just a gripping adventure. Many see it as foreshadowing the tumultuous history of Ukraine, with two brothers representing two different worlds destined to collide. From the rugged plains of the Dnieper River to the clash of religious and cultural identities, Taras Bulba sets the stage for a story that might just feel eerily familiar in today's geopolitical context. In this video, we'll examine the plot, unravel Gogol's commentary on Cossack life, and ponder how this 19th-century novella may serve as a symbolic prophecy for Ukraine's modern struggles. Let's dive in. At the heart of Taras Bulba lies a crucial dilemma. What does it mean to belong to a land steeped in shifting allegiances and contested borders? For the 16th-century Cossacks, loyalty and identity were everything. Bound by codes of honor, intense religious devotion, and their ferocious independence on the steppe, Gogol introduces us to Taras Bulba, a grizzled and headstrong Cossack father, proud of his two sons, Ostap and Andriy, who return home after completing their studies at the Kiev Academy. The challenge? Both young men must decide which values to embrace: the militaristic, communal life of the Zaporozhian Cossacks, or the seductive allure of a broader, more cosmopolitan world. Meanwhile, Taras Bulba's unwavering dedication to tradition, faith, and warrior glory sparks an internal family conflict that will soon mirror the larger social and cultural conflicts shaping the region. Before long, these loyalties will be tested in blood and heartbreak. Taras Bulba is more than a father figure. He's a towering symbol of Cossack unity, an embodiment of old-world values like strength, piety, and fierce loyalty to one's own kin. From the moment the sons arrive, Taras wastes no time re-immersing them in Cossack rituals, feasting, drinking, and reuniting with their brethren at the Zaporozhian Sich. For Taras, the world is straightforward. You stand by your fellow Cossacks and defend their honor against any enemy. Yet, beneath that rugged exterior, Gogol plants seeds of tension. Ostap, the older son, swiftly embraces his father's militant worldview, relishing the comradeship and the adrenaline of battle. Andriy, the younger brother, however, finds himself conflicted. He is drawn to a Polish noblewoman, a symbol of a different culture, a different faith, and ultimately, a different future. In this friction between Ostap and Andriy, Gogol sketches out two divergent paths that might forecast Ukraine's own historical crossroads. The novella's emotional peak occurs when the Cossacks lay siege to a Polish-held city. Amid the chaos, Andriy's hidden love for the Polish girl resurfaces. She's inside the besieged walls, starving alongside her people. Torn between his father's fierce loyalty to the Cossack cause and his love for the enemy, Andriy makes a fateful choice. He defects to the Polish side in order to be with her. This betrayal shatters Taras's worldview. In that instant, a father loses his son not to physical death, but to a moral and cultural schism. It's arguably one of the most heart-wrenching betrayals in literature, capturing the devastation of ideological splits within families. The deadly confrontation between Taras and Andriy soon follows, culminating in a brutal act that many readers never see coming. Gogol spares no one in this moment. No hero emerges unscathed. The question that lingers: did Andriy choose progress or treason? Beyond the family tragedy, Gogol's narrative depicts the broader conflicts shaping the region's identity. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the lands we now call Ukraine were a patchwork of competing influences: Lithuanian, Polish, Ottoman, Russian. Cossacks, often regarded as free-spirited warriors on the fringes of empire, inhabited a boundary zone, neither fully integrated into Western Europe nor wholly subjugated by Eastern powers. Gogol's text celebrates their communal ethos, the brotherhood that thrives on shared adversity, and the unwavering devotion to the Orthodox faith. This devotion frames every battle as a holy crusade against Catholic or Islamic foes. Yet, by introducing Andrzej's romance with a Polish Catholic, Gogol hints at the region's inherent complexity. Can cultural fusion or romantic entanglements bridge historical divides, or are they doomed from the start? Taras Bulba's unyielding worldview might be read as a metaphor for forces in Ukraine that resist external influence, seeking purity in tradition and faith. Meanwhile, Andrea's ephemeral dream of transcultural love suggests the lure of outside ideas, alliances, and possibilities. The conflict foreshadows a centuries-long tug-of-war for the soul of Ukraine. Should it remain anchored in Eastern Orthodoxy and Cossack independence, or open itself to Western cultural currents? Interestingly, many scholars see Taras Bulba as an early prophecy of Ukraine's modern predicaments. Repeated invasions, territorial disputes, and cultural fractures that continue into the 21st century. Gogol, himself born in what is now Ukraine, oscillated between glorifying local folklore and adopting a more Russian imperial perspective. This duality resonates in the text. On one hand, Gogol exalts the unstoppable spirit of the Zaporozhian Cossacks, men who'd rather die than compromise their independence. On the other, he casts their world as harsh, chaotic, and unsustainable without strong leadership or external alliances. This tension might reflect Ukraine's ongoing challenges, balancing sovereignty with the practical realities of geography and geopolitics. The two Bulba brothers embody these diverging destinies. Ostap valiantly clings to Cossack heritage until his dying breath, representing the part of Ukraine that demands autonomy and continuity with the past. Andrei, though demonized by many for his betrayal, symbolizes the pull toward a Europe or West that might offer progress, but also demands sacrifice of old allegiances. In the end, Gogol denies the possibility of peaceful unity. Fate steps in with violence, heartbreak, and no easy resolution. It's a grim commentary that resonates deeply if viewed through the lens of Ukraine's troubled history. To fully appreciate Taras Bulba, one must understand Gogol's narrative style. A fusion of romantic nationalism, comedic exaggeration, and tragic drama. He revels in the Cossacks' rough humor, their love of feasts and songs, and the legendary brotherhood that thrives in adversity. Then, without warning, he plunges the reader into brutal scenes of warfare, complete with savage detail. This oscillation captures the complexities of a land often romanticized for its sweeping steppes, but scarred by centuries of conflict. In modern readings, Taras's unyielding commitment to Cossack tradition can appear both heroic and profoundly tragic. He champions collective identity and defiance against foreign oppression, values that, in many ways, define modern Ukrainian nationalism. Yet the death and destruction unleashed by his vendettas show the high price of unrelenting militancy. Andrei's storyline, meanwhile, offers a glimmer of hope for intercultural connection, even if it ends in tragedy. Could Andrei's desire to break free from tribal loyalties be a stepping stone to a more inclusive society? Or does Gogol suggest such dreams will inevitably be crushed by historical and communal forces? The short answer is, Gogol leaves it ambiguous. He's less interested in endorsing a single path than he is in dramatizing the heart-wrenching consequences of each choice. Like a prophet, he sets up a crossroads and warns that any road chosen will demand great sacrifice. Ultimately, Taras Bulba transcends a simple father and son saga to become a cultural epic, one that, in many ways, anticipates the complexities of modern Ukraine. Through vivid characterizations and dramatic set pieces, Gogol wrestles with questions of loyalty, faith, and national identity. Taras embodies a fierce devotion to tradition and communal unity, while his two sons, especially Andrei, represent divergent paths, unwavering adherence, or an attempt to embrace a broader, more cosmopolitan horizon. The tragedy lies in the fact that neither path yields lasting peace or personal fulfillment. Instead, the family is torn apart by the unstoppable force of history. In our contemporary moment, as Ukraine once again stands at the crossroads of East and West, Taras Bulba reads like a cautionary tale and a haunting prophecy. Gogol's message, forging identity in a disputed land, often carries heartbreak in its wake. But within that heartbreak, there can also be perseverance and hope. So, are you ready to dive into one of the most gripping novellas of the 19th century? Tell me what you think about Gogol's vision of two brothers symbolizing two different worlds. Do you see it as a chilling prediction of Ukraine's ongoing struggles? Or more a universal story of family tragedy? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into classic literature that speaks eerily to our present day. If you've read Taras Bulba, I'd love to know your favorite scene, or the one that disturbed you the most. And if you haven't, consider picking it up and seeing for yourself how an old Russian-born, Ukraine-set story might help us understand the complexities of cultural identity today. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and remember, the past may hold surprising clues to the future.